Okay. We don't have enough time to do the form, so let's not do the form. Let's go straight into what we were working on yesterday, right? And I'm not even sure I remember it, but shift your weight. Watch this. Comes up all the way from the ground to here, and then out to the fist. So when you do this, where is the punch coming from? Jill, where's the punch coming from? The bottom of the foot goes through the danshan. Actually, it goes like this. It starts in your mind with intention. Goes to your danshan. It goes down to the bottom of your foot. It comes back to the danshan. It comes up to the tanjong. It goes to the shoulder, the elbow, and the fist. Right? From the mind to the danshan to the bottom of the foot. From the bottom of the foot to the danshan to the shoulder, elbow, fist. That loop, it's a loop, right? It's a loop. If I want to flick, where'd Catherine go? If I want to flick the whip, all right, I have to do a loop. There's no other way to do it. If I want to flick it over here, right, I'm going to have to start over there. I'm going to have to start left to go right, or right to go left, right? even if I do it like this, all right, I've still stretched it out to the left in order for it to go right. It's always that way. If you're a baseball player, all right, Jill, pitch me the ball. All right. It takes a while to get up here. If I'm going to hit, all right, I'm going to be 5 years old. Now pitch me the ball. You've seen little kids do that. Of course, they don't know. Right? Someone pitches you the ball, you go backwards and then forward. It's the same thing.
It's really good that young kids don't do a full swing, because I got hit in the head with a bat.
Well, that's good.
And T-ball. I wouldn't be here if they did it right.
But seriously, guys, it's think about this. It's so easy to get caught, to mentally get caught in your fists. It's not about your fists. It's about this circle. Do this with me. Point at your forehead. Now point at the bottom of the foot. Now come up and punch. Forehead, bottom of the foot, come up and punch. Forehead, bottom of the foot, come up and punch. And notice that I'm putting my weight on this leg. You get really good at that, and you don't have to do it so much in the physical body. Right? But I did the same thing. I still went down to the bottom of my foot. Right? Bottom of your foot. Bottom of your foot. Right? On both sides, nice and soft. Bottom of the foot, punch. 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 Bottom of the foot, point, punch. Look at this, punch. All right. One more. Stop right where you are and look at your feet. Do you have space between your feet? This way, sideways. If your feet are like this, they're too close. Yes, more. Yes. Your knees go out. Yes. All right. Now you don't have to stay in a deep horse stance the whole time, but there has to be space open here. Otherwise, you're like this. It's like you're walking a tightrope. Instead, like this. Palms up. Hit back. Now look at your feet again. Are there distance between? Yes, exactly. You've got to make it a habit. Not straight ahead. Start here, palm up, palm down. It's always that way. Could be fingers. But this is a fist. Always starts by your side and palms up, and then it spirals. Good. All right, Catherine, let me see you do that section. Good. Good. You remember yesterday I said you have two bad habits, and we talked about your elbows being raised sometimes, right? It's very common. But we didn't mention the other one. The other one is your footwork. Your footwork is way too narrow, and when your footwork is too narrow, it makes one feel not very well grounded. So you feel like things are not quite right. Watch, I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to do it like you. Very narrow, right? Wow. What happens is you can't use your hips, right? The human body is structured like a rectangle, and the you got the shoulder girdle up here and the pelvic girdle down here, and the shoulders and the hips are similar joints. They're the same joints, so to speak. If your hip joints are squished, then your shoulder joints can't work very well, because this whole ensemble is not free to move. But if you open this up and sit down in your hips, right? Oh, now you can actually use your hips, which means you can also use your shoulders. All right? Yes, Catherine, do it again from the beginning and consciously work on your footwork. Good. Stop. Now look at your feet again. Yes. It's a habit. It's a habit. It's a habit of movement. The best way to deal with something like this, because everybody has these, getting into a horse stance, keeping your stance open, is something that everybody has to deal with, not just you. The best way to deal with it is when you practice today after class, and when you practice tomorrow, just decide what you're going to work on as your footwork. And you just stay conscious about it, and you check it. You check it all the time and go, did I remember to do it? Well, sometimes you will and sometimes you won't. Just keep doing that for about 2 weeks. And then what happens is you just end up with a new kind of habit. Right? The habit of staying in a horse stance and keeping your hips open.
Okay.
Then you can go on to something else, on to the next principle. But using a horse stance is the number one basic principle, because without that, I mean, everything rests on your feet. So if your feet are wrong, everything else is going to be wrong too. Absolutely guaranteed. All right, Jill, let me see you do it. Boom. Now stop and look at your feet. You've already moved. They're a little, yes, exactly. They were a little narrow there. So pay some attention to that over the next week or two and see if you can correct that. Okay, from the punch. Block down and roll. Reverse chin up. Pull silk. Forward chin up. Shoulder and Buddha's warrior. Pounds the mortar. This is an open-handed Buddhist warrior. It's not a fist like the first Buddhist warrior we do, right, is a fist. This one is going to be open-handed. Boom, like so. And try to make a good snappy noise. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to make a snappy noise. All right. So let's spend just a couple of seconds working on that, and we're going to go on to that next week, whether you know this move or not. All right. So watch from the punch. Block down. In fact, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it facing you. Block down. It's not this. That's not blocking. This is blocking. Block. Block. All right. Block. And then roll. Big circle. Reverse chin up. Pull silk. Forward chin up. The reverse chin up is done over your own knee. All right. Now I'm going to get in the right position. And watch the difference between the position of the reverse and forward chin up. All right. Block down, roll, reverse chin up, right over your knee. Pull silk, forward chin up. Oh, that's not on over my knee. That's in the middle at 45 degrees. The major axis of the form is this way. The minor axis of the form is this way. And then there are 45 degrees here and 45 degrees back here, right? So the punch is at 45 degrees, block down, and reverse chin-a, and the major axis of the form. Pull silk, forward chin-a at 45 degrees, shoulder back on the major axis of the form, sweep, right? Watch the foot and the hand. Sweep. Sweep. Right? Sweep. That's what you're doing. You're kicking here and you're pushing here. Sweep. Sweep. Coil in. Buddha's warrior. All right? Okay. So now you should have that. You should have that section. Practice it over the week, and we'll pick it up again on Saturday. And maybe it will be a much lighter day next week, and we won't have to talk about the world situation. All right? Okay, guys, have yourself a great day. We'll see you next time.